G'day Canterbury and welcome to Canterbury Live on the 28th of May. Thank you for joining us today. A little less pink today throughout the studio. It was so wonderful having our pink ribbon morning tea / breakfast, and we raised some wonderful funds for breast cancer research. And a couple of shout outs. One is to lovely Isabel Field, who donated her pocket money to the cause, $4.20. So many thanks to you, Isabel. And secondly, we got a bit of a boost of $120 from the Christchurch Casino. So well done to the team, and we didn't even have to bake for you at all. So how's that? Rightio. One more shout out though to a very special phone call I received yesterday from Mark. Mark and his partner Damien watch the show every day and they're heading off to the Gold Coast tomorrow, but they really loved yesterday what we did for Pink Ribbon. So many thanks to Mark and Damien. Thank you for that. Rightio. It is the last day to enter for all of our New Zealand Music Month paraphernalia, yes. But first up, of course, that wonderful speaker from Logitech, the UE Mega Boom. And don't forget, you can take it in the shower. Yes, you can. To win it, all you need to do is go to our Facebook page, like us, and leave your details there. This is the last day because we will be announcing the winner tomorrow. Now, down below, this Sunday, it's all happening. It is the last game for the Tactics, and they are versing Waikato Bay of Plenty Magic. If you can, please go along and support the girls. They have had a tough season, so we really want them to end on a high. And next to it is Hoyts. You can head along to watch Mad Max. It's getting awesome reviews. Definitely a must-to-see. And we have that merchandise that we will be giving away tomorrow at the New Zealand Music Month, as well as a beautiful painting from Ira Mitchell-Kirk. And next month, it will have a Matariki theme. Looking forward to seeing exactly what she's produced for us. So for all of these prizes, just call through to 3777 or go to our Facebook page. It's as simple as that. And tomorrow, so many winners to announce. It's going to be fabulous. Fabulous Friday. Okay, coming up on today's show, the SPCA are here with a very special guest. And he has a bit of a bark. Yes, he does. So very much looking forward to that. And Pacific Disability Support Trust, they're giving you the opportunity to win, literally, the shirt of Richie McCaw's back. And just quietly, I'm quite looking forward to that myself. And we head out to the theatre with the Riccarton Players, a wonderful new production that is coming up next week. But first up, it's time to head out to the outdoors. Well, if you don't know anything about Boyle River, then be prepared. You're going to be educated right now. I'm joined by a man that, apart from having a great name, has a great CV, Peter Allen. And even spell it my way as well.
That's right.
Bless. You do have quite an impressive CV before we get into the Boyle River. Tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I was principal at Rangiora High School from 1990 to 2002. I've been involved with the Boyle ever since then. I went on camps with the kids from Rangiora High School. And since then, I've been on the trust pretty much right through and been chair for a number of years now. So, yes, I'm also on the councillor for Waimea District Council at the moment. So.
Good on you, giving back.
Yeah.
Tenfold, really, aren't you?
Well, I hope so, yeah.
So let's get to the Boyle River. We've got some great images that we'll bring up on screen. But thousands of young Cantabrians have enjoyed the area, haven't they?
They have, yeah. It's a fantastic environment for young people to experience a whole range of environments. Really, we've got the alpine environment, obviously, the bush environment. An environment that many youngsters don't, on a day-to-day basis get to make contact with. So yeah, it's great.
And there is a centre there, and I believe that was your vision.
Well, it's the centre's been operating for 37 years. Began as an idea for Rotary clubs in the district. The Belfast, Kaiapoi, Rangiora clubs got together, and originally the idea was a hut in the mountains, and that kind of moved from there to the lodge that we have now. So yeah, it began in the 1970s, carried on ever since.
I mean, it definitely is an alpine environment, isn't it? So with that becomes some unique things that are available there.
Yeah. So we have the alpine, the tops, of course, the mountain tops, and youngsters get to experience that. We have the river environment. We have the bush environment, so many different bird and animal species and so on that the kids get to experience. Yeah.
Right, and even a high ropes course. That sounds quite impressive. Have you been up there of late?
Yeah, I was up there the other weekend actually. Had a group up there, and we put people through the high ropes experience, and we do that on a regular basis. Of course, that's the high ropes is part of the range of activities that we offer. We offer rock climbing, river work such as tubing, tramping, abseiling, rock climbing and so on. So it's and the environment is great for that, with great diversity.
Now it's quite apt that you're here today, because just recently, as we know, in Taranaki, there was a young boy that was out overnight with one of their outdoor adventures. So there is the risk, isn't there?
Well, of course, in this kind of environment, there's always risk. Our policy is to minimise that risk and manage that risk. We have we are accredited under Outdoors Mark for the safety standards that we apply. We're very careful to make sure all of our instructors are appropriately equipped in terms of safety procedures. And on the odd occasion when an incident does occur, we manage that. But fortunately, over 37 years, we've had no serious incidents, and we plan to keep it that way. No,
that's great. And it was good news that the young chap was fine, and all those skills that he learnt came into use as well. Yeah. So is there we're talking about children and teenagers, but is there actually services available for adults for Boyle River?
Yes, we care. Of course, our focus is secondary schools and programs for them. But we are also a centre that is available for adult groups, and we do have adult groups doing recreational programs over weekends. Our Go For It courses have run over a number of years, weekends. It's also available for, birthdays. Occasionally we have birthday groups going up and enjoying the facilities up there. We have church groups going up and using the facilities. So we are very happy to receive approaches from community groups to use the facilities. And of course it's important for us that the facilities are used so that we can continue to operate effectively.
Exactly, because as boring as it may seem, you still need the resources, don't you, to keep it going. So if you do have a family event coming up, or maybe a team building actually for a corporate, then Boyle River could definitely be it. They have a wonderful website, very informative, so you can make contact details. It is boyle.org.nz. Many thanks to you, Peter, and all the best for you. Now, it's all about the animals. Rightio, oohing and ahhing, that's what I'm doing, looking at this amazing, Barry, no offence, but it's all about Hank.
No offence taken.
No offence taken. We're joined by the beautiful Hank, there he is, and look, he's even coordinated with the carpet, I love it, it's just too divine. Joining me is the Chief Executive Officer for SPCA Canterbury, Barry Helam, and Jamie Hancock, who's one of the inspectors. Huge role you have, don't you, Jamie?
Yeah.
I mean, Hank is a beautiful, beautiful example of someone that could no longer look after him and letting you know before it became a problem.
Yes. Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good outcome.
And the other spectrum is, of course, you do have those very sad stories as well, don't you?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we deal with a lot of hard jobs. Yeah.
You're pretty lucky you got special people like that, Jamie, don't you? Like Jamie or Barry, like Jamie.
Jamie's our latest inspector. We used to have 3 full-time inspectors, and because of the increase in animal welfare complaints, we've increased to 4 now. So it's just a sort of I think a symptom of post-earthquake Christchurch, where a lot of those social stresses are coming through now, and part of that is an increase in animal welfare issues. So we've needed to increase our resource to cope with that demand.
So how do you feel those complaints that are coming through? Jamie, that's a good one for you. Where do these complaints come from that it takes from you leaving the office to going out to a property?
So the members of the public call our receptionists, who are expert complaint takers, and people can do that in full confidence that their details will be kept confidential. And then the jobs get assigned to individual inspectors, and we head on out with an open mind to see what we can see what we find.
And it's nice that you say that, Barry. I suppose you do need to have an open mind.
Absolutely.
You can't already be the jury as well as, you know, the judge, can you?
No, you can't. And often a lot of the complaints that come through are easily resolved through education and helping people and assisting them to make the right choices and giving them the support to care for their animals. So there's quite a wide spectrum of different complaints we deal with. There's extreme ones which result in prosecution, but a large number of the complaints the guides go to are around just assisting people and helping and educating.
Yeah, and we've got some pictures there actually of the great work the team do. In particular with Hank though, he's just one example of the animals you have to adopt. Do you have a lot of animals available now to adopt at homes?
We've got a variety of dogs and cats. I think we've only got dogs and cats at the moment.
Oh, rabbits.
And rabbits, yep. Sometimes we have other things, but yeah.
We have over 2,000 animals a year go through the centre, so it can be quite seasonal, like obviously summer's a large number of kittens, but lately we're seeing a lot more dogs coming through.
Righty-ho. In particular with Hank, if we're looking at him going, wow, he'll be an amazing addition to our family, tell us the process to adopt him.
So you come in and speak to our adoptions officer and she'll guide the person through the process. There's an application process and we come around and check that the prospective applicant has a suitably fenced and secure yard to contain Hank and all the shelter requirements and an understanding of what's going to be involved in looking after this little guy for the rest of his life as well, the costs and things that are involved.
Well, I'm glad you touched on the costing because, Barry, that's the boring part of your job, isn't it, really, isn't it?
I'm an
money.
I'm an ex-banker. I like money. So,
and more of it, please.
Yeah, a lot more of it. Yeah, so we spend a lot more on our animals than we get for them in adoption fees. So for Hank example, we would probably spend around $500 to $600 by the time you pay for vet costs, microchipping, vaccinating, the surgery for desexing. And we will adopt Hank for $200. So basically we have to fundraise extensively to cover the cost of caring for the animals. If we had the price too high, it would slow down the turnover and animals would not find a home quicker. So that's why we try and keep the price affordable for people.
I mean, but then again, with your website is SPCA, canterbury.org.nz. On there you can actually donate.
Absolutely.
Or if there are events are coming up to support you as well.
Sure.
Thank you so much. They're such an important part, animals in our world and our families. And my goodness, how could you not take Hank home? He is just too beautiful for words. He has the most amazing nature. From the moment he came into the studio, a lot of adults can't handle the studio, but that wonderful, wonderful little piece of gorgeousness there is handling it so, so well. So all the best. I'm sure he'll go to a very wonderful, warm home. Yeah. And thank you to you both.
Thanks very much.
Stay with us after the break. We catch up with the Pacific Disability Trust. Well, it could be a dream, definitely not a nightmare in my books, that I could win the shirt off Rich McCaw's back. It's quite a lovely thing indeed. And we have the shirt here in question. I'm joined by Raj Singhai and Maria van der Heuzel from the Pacific Disability Trust. How are you all?
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Oh, you're welcome. So educate us about why the Pacific Disability Trust was set up.
So we've been involved in some charity projects in Samoa, especially with the spinal cord injured group. And we've been doing this clinics and workshops over the last 6 years or so. And over time, we found that there are more and more patients, more and more individuals with spinal cord injury who are struggling to meet their day-to-day needs. And this now has, we've found there are a few in Fiji, and so this is now growing in numbers. And to support that, we've had really great support from Richie and the team, All Blacks. Richie's shirt here is on display, which is on Trade Me, and there have been some very good bids going for it so far. And we are eternally grateful to Richie McCaw for his support for this Pacific Disability Trust.
He's a great lad, isn't he? We've got a picture on the... Oh, there he is, looking all lovely there with that jersey. I mean, yeah, he's a man's man, isn't he? He is giving back. Maria, I'm sure you wouldn't mind that shirt, would you?
I wouldn't mind wearing it, no.
No! So, Maria, what's your involvement with the Trust?
Well, I'm one of the clinical nurse specialists at the Boyle Spinal Unit, and we go, like Raj said, go overseas to Samoa every year. and help work with the people with disability and empower them to live full lives and get out in their community. And one of the ways we do that is teaching them how to prevent getting complications associated with spinal cord injury, pressure sores and urine infections, etc. And we teach the people that are looking after them, their family members and some other the health professionals over there. So we go over every year and teach rehabilitation, and now we've got a big network over there that are actually teaching and we're supporting them.
And that's what it's all about though, isn't it, Raj?
Yes,
is that giving them the tools so they can carry on and be self-sufficient.
Exactly. So that is how we started this. And it started with one individual with a rugby injury, 19-year-old lad. And now this has gone on to about 70-odd individuals who have similar injuries. The basic needs are great. The consumables, the catheters, wound products, these are the things which are lacking in the Pacific Island nations. And what we have done is we have got these systems in place so that we can supply them with these things which are their day-to-day needs. And we're hoping that with this charity we are able to raise lots of money to be able to help these individuals in Fiji as well as Samoa.
Yeah, so we do have the Trade Me link there, but that's where this shirt will be, and there's other items that we can also purchase as well, isn't there?
Exactly, there's a lovely dinner for 7 or 8, I'm not sure, with Simon Gold, which Richie McCaw is going to host. So this is in Euro in Auckland, and that's going quite hot.
Oh, Euro is fantastic. Have you been there before?
No.
Seriously, that is a fantastic restaurant. But that's the dessert as well, having Richie there, my goodness.
Yes.
Wow, you did touch on rugby though, because unfortunately it's our national game, but there is the sad side of it, of the injuries that are facing. You must see that, Maria, at Burwood as well.
Yes, and Raj is the director of the spinal unit, so yes, we do. And some of the work we have done over there, we've addressed trying to get safe rugby played in Samoa as well. But yes, unfortunately, you're right, there's still too many accidents happening in that game of sport.
It is definitely rough and tumble. But it's wonderful that you've set up this trust now, and we've got the fundraising that will happen on Trade Me, but you've got a great website. It's Pacific
Disability Support
Trust.org, and on there is information if we want to educate ourselves a bit more, or if this is not our cup of tea, you still will take donations though, won't you, through to the trust?
Yes.
Great. So what's the next thing on the calendar for the trust then coming up?
So the next is we're doing some more clinics and workshops in Samoa. We want to extend this out to Fiji, where there is a great need similar to Samoa, and we're looking at doing similar kind of workshops as and when we are able to do so.
That's wonderful. Well, I commend you both.
Thank you.
What an amazing thing you do by giving back every day, and especially to those that are very vulnerable after these accidents. But you're educating. I love it, giving the tools so you can carry that message through the South Pacific.
And it's our privilege, they're beautiful people to work
great.
with. Yep.
And hello, that could be yours. Well, I'm just going to this. Oh, Richie touched it. It's amazing. I'll give you 50 cents for that. Rightio. Now stay with us after the break. We're heading to the theatre with Riccarton Players. There's definitely heart and soul well and truly alive on the couch. I'm joined by some of the Riccarton Players. We have Rick Harris, welcome to Canterbury Live, looking very cockney there. Rachel Chamberlain, my lady, and Russell Dan. Welcome to Canterbury Live. Very big week happening next week, Rachel.
Yes. So it's opening next week, next Wednesday, for a Riccartonian Palace of Varieties, or ARPOV, as we like to call it. And we're opening on Wednesday night and we're running for 2 weeks.
Brilliant. Now, it's being held at, it was a little bit special, it's at the Christchurch South Intermediate School.
Yes, so we've held our show there at South for the last few years. Our theatre is currently out of action, so we've been welcomed at South and we've been having a great time performing ARPOV there.
And how wonderful for the school, that's pretty fantastic, but very inspiring for the children. Rick, you're in, both Russell, in Cockney costume today.
We certainly are.
So tell us about the musical element of the performance.
It's probably, I think there's about 47 odd songs through it, the Cockney element. It starts off with sing-along Cockney type songs. It's the sort of the highlight. It's where the audience get to join in. They get to sing along with us. And what sort of songs we've got? My Old Man Followed the Band, you know, just...
The classics.
The classics. But what I will say is done very well. It is such a charge to sit with 20 people who can sing and sing together. It lifts you, and just listening to the rehearsals is a buzz. I'd like to be out the front, but you can't do both.
Well, no, you can't. And it's quite lovely here because on the couch we have, a virgin. This is your first time. This is his first time. Look at this. But then we go right through to an old boy that's been around a while. 19 of these.
Yes, I've done 19. This is the 20th show. I missed one. I was in England at the time, which was a pretty poor excuse, I know.
Jeepers.
Yes, they started off in the Mill Theatre way back about 96, I think. Dot Screen and Kathy Yeager produced that particular show. Julian Southgate, the set designer, was the first chairman. We then had Joe Bennett for a couple of years doing it. And we've just carried on, and now Doug Clark has been the chairman for the last many years, the founder of Riccarton Players.
I know, he's been around a bit too, hasn't he?
He certainly has.
And of course he got the Queen's Award as well. He got that,
yes.
which is just wonderful, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
So you're the rose between two thorns of sorts. Rachel, have you been in the entertainment or the theatre for long? Or?
Yeah, I've been part of Riccarton Players since 2009, and I did my first ARPOV in 2011. And I haven't looked back, and it's the one show every year I can't miss. But I've done a few different shows with Riccarton and with Elmwood as well. Just sort of a variety of things, musicals and children's theatre and comedies, and it's
How wonderful.
It's really fun.
Now, for you, Rick, if we're coming along, what can we expect? If you could sum it up in a couple of sentences, describe the actual evening for us.
Well, as Ross said, it's along the lines of the old-time musical. It is something. There's participation from the audience. There's lots of singing, lots of movement, lots of bright, happy people.
Well, they look very bright and happy on screen now.
Yes, and we certainly are.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You really do get down to your bones there, love.
The costumes are amazing. That's one of the best parts of ARPOV, I think.
Oh, look at that. Looks very impressive, that lineup as well. Hey, going to put you a bit on the spot now. I believe that Rachel and Russell will be the backup girls. But Rick, you may entertain us a little bit before we end the show today, do you think?
I'll take a chance.
You take a chance? Well, you're going to, good old Sci-Fly, what a guy, on camera too there. If you just look at him and do your bits. I'm looking forward to this.
Can we do the... Okay.
Okay.
Go.
Sweet, sweet, the memories you gave to me.
Take
Sweet, sweet,
one fresh and tender kiss.
Sweet, sweet, the memories you gave to me.
Had one stolen night of bliss.
Sweet, sweet, the memories you gave to me.
One girl, one boy, some grief, some joy. Memories are made of this.
Sweet, sweet, the memories you gave to me.
Don't forget a small moonbeam.
Sweet, sweet, the memories you gave to me.
Folding lightly with a dream.
Sweet, sweet, the memories.
And this is what you can get, of course, Riccarton Players, Christchurch South Intermediate School, 204 Selwyn Street. Go along and support. Thank you all. That was gorgeous. You're just too lovely. Great show. On tomorrow's show, we've got the Christchurch Casino, the Royal New Zealand Ballet, nonetheless. No, that's right. And Dean Simmons for the last day of New Zealand Music Month. Have an awesome Thursday. We'll do it all again tomorrow. Cheers.